Hey everyone, my name is Rowan, and this is my channel Galaxy Wide. Here I want to talk about things that inspire me, motivate me, just generally talk about things that I like, and explain why I like them, or at least try to explain. It's mostly going to be a confused ramble, but let's begin. The Khajiit of Elsweyr are weird, like really weird, like they change depending on the phases of the moon, but it's a good weird, I promise. Let me start off by saying I am no lore master. If I get it wrong, please be sure to let me know. The Elder Scrolls is a long and historied world on its continent of Tamriel, from major empires rising and falling, to otherworldly demon gods invading the realm multiple times. A major race suddenly disappearing off the face of Nirn after messing with an ancient Lovecraftian god's heart. A massive dragon that wants to eat the world, but is thrown into the time stream only to be represented as Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse. I think you get the point. The Elder Scrolls has got a lot of stuff going on. So of all the races of man and mer, it's the third type of race that excites me the most. The Beast Folk. The Beast Folk are generally anthropomorphic animals, and while I do love me some Argonians and their weird relationship with their sentient tree sugar daddies, it's the moon-worshipping, sugar-eating, silver-tongued cat thieves that I'm here to talk about. Let's talk about the Khajiit. To properly understand the Khajiit, you've got to understand where they come from and how they came into being. The Khajiit live in the lands of Elsweyr, a subcontinent in Tamriel. Its climate is split into two sections: the rolling warm sands of the Aquina Desert in the north, and the swampy jungles of the Palatine in the south. Long before the unification of these two sections into one kingdom, the Khajiit used to live in separate tribes, 16 of them to be exact, which conveniently lines up with the different types or breeds of Khajiit that exist. But more on that in just a minute. Among these 16 tribes, most acted as matriarchal societies, and while different, they valued each other's strengths and weaknesses, willing to work together to be stronger. That was until the Thracian Plague, a disease from a strange land far away, ravaged the Khajiit's population, leaving them with only two major tribes left: a bloodthirsty warriors survivalist culture to the north, and a shady diplomatic drug-trading kingdom to the south. Now all this lines up incredibly well, as the Khajiit are duality and change incarnate. They crave change in all forms. A Khajiit will be enamored by an object to the brink of unhealthy obsession one day, and move on to another one the next. Khajiit are crafty and chaotic and quick thinkers. They are a race that learns better by doing than by reading. Creatures of action. The looming pull of adventure and exploration and fame calls to every one of them. Khajiit are nimble and swift, both with their movement and with their blades. They can silently creep through the trees or through your pockets. But they aren't just soft-handed thieves, they are shrewd negotiators. Masters of barter and trade. They hold one of the largest exports among the realm of Tamriel. Equipped with a silver tongue and deft hands, a Khajiit is just as likely to sell you a miracle potion, while another one swipes the coin you're paying with. And this duality is represented in every aspect of their culture, even down to the moons that they worship. Religion in the land of Elsweyr is just as unique. While most races see themselves in the Aedra and Daedra, the Khajiit take it to the extreme, and see all their gods as cat versions, complete with name variations and coming into being as a litter. But their biggest change are the twin moons that hang in the sky of Tamriel: Masser and Secunda, or Jode and Joan. Masser and Secunda play a pivotal role in Khajiit culture, believed to be the sundered body of Lorkhan, the creator of Nirn and all mortals. While Secunda, our little white lady, does orbit Masser, our red giant, they both orbit around Nirn, creating a complex and beautiful moon cycle. This cycle determines the kind of Khajiit that is born, or a first stock. There isn't just one Khajiit. There are 16, 17 if you count the main, but each of these breeds is different, yet they are all Khajiit. I've linked the chart in the description below for ease of use. I'm not going to go through all of them, but point out a notable few. The Ohms. When Masser is new and Secunda is full, the Ohm is born. In this form, the Khajiit are almost indistinguishable from their neighbors the Bosmer, or Wood Elves. They are commonly called man-faced, due to their similarity to Mer and man. They are one of the most common types seen outside of Elsweyr, and they tattoo fur patterns and lines to make themselves look more like their feline brethren, the Cathay and Cathay Rot. When Master is waxing and Secunda is full, or transitioning into waxing, the Cathay and Cathay Rot are born. These are typically the most common type of Khajiit, and it's the type you play as in every Elder Scrolls game if you play a Khajiit. The Alfiq. When Master is waning and Secunda is full, the Alfiq come into being. They look like normal house cats, but are said to be among the most capable of Khajiit mages. And while it is rumored they are mute, there is just as many saying the opposite. The Senshei and Senshei Rot. The Senshei are among the weirdest and coolest. When both Master and Secunda are full in the night sky, the Senshei are born. They are sentient and larger than almost all their other cousins, but they have these large, long forelimbs, giving them an almost ape-like appearance. While the Senshei Rot, or Senshei Cats, are stuck on all fours and act as battle cats, being roughly the size of horses, if not larger. The Senshei Cats are usually rode into battle and are seen as the lesser of the Khajiit species. They make it very known that they do not have masters or owners, only riders. The final and most unique form of Khajiit I want to cover is called the Mane. The Mane is a spiritual and religious figure among the Khajiit, said to be reincarnated over and over again. Only one Mane can exist at a time, and can only be born when Master and Secunda are aligned in an eclipse. Some even rumor there is a third moon that only appears when the Mane is born. The Mane's job is to bring about peace and prosperity to the lands of Elsweyr, and knowing the Khajiit, this is easier said than done. According to legend, when a Mane is born, all Khajiit must shave off their mane and offer it to the Mane so that he may braid it into his mane, but as populations and borders grew, this became impossible. Now only the Mane's original tribe and his personal guards shave off their mane, but that is still a lot of hair, so much in fact the mane is carried around in a palanquin, as it is too cumbersome for them to move. God, I'm really tired of saying mane. As you can see, the moons play a vital part in Khajiit society, but there's another aspect to the moons that are pivotal to Khajiit trade. Moon sugar. In the jungles of Elsweyr, a special form of sugarcane grows, and when harvested as a crop, it is made into moon sugar. The Khajiit believe that it is formed from their moons, and contains magical properties that tie them to their deities. It also has the common side effect of being a euphoric hallucinogen. It is not uncommon to see alleyways where a few Khajiit have gathered in a nest, shaking and shuddering high as a kite. To the other races, it does little but keep a mild euphoric feeling, but when it comes to being processed even further, it becomes skooma. Skooma can be consumed in almost any form, and that makes it one of Tamriel's most popular drugs. It can be cured into a solid rock form and smoked, or gulped down in a potion. In its most popular form, it is crystallized and smoked in a special pipe. The crystals are placed in a small dish and heated. The gas produced is bubbled through water in a pipe to cool it as it is inhaled. It's basically a weird fantasy bong hookah thingy, and it's awesome. All this is done in secret dens, as skooma is technically illegal under Empire rule. But with the right grease to the right wheel, most Imperials are happy to turn a blind eye to certain ships in their harbor. But let's be real here. The Khajiit are too crafty to really follow laws for any long period of time. So Khajiit, interesting weirdos, right? I just think they're neat. Their strange duality is reflected in everything about them, from their lands of monsoons, jungles, and deserts, to the people themselves. They could be the shadiest person you'll ever meet, or the most charming. They crave change, and it makes them the greatest of adventurers. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this. Your support is so important to growing this channel. So give me a like or leave a comment if you enjoyed it. And if you want to hear more of my confused ramblings, you can click that little red button down at the bottom to subscribe for more content.